Hello everyone, I know I'm late to this topic, but hey, I've been busy with work, so cut me some slack, will you? Alright? I'm not the only one who's been late. Now, as we all know, Felix, otherwise known as Pewdiepie, has recently been the subject of several smear pieces. The first one by the Wall Street Journal, where they have accused him of being a Nazi, a white supremacist, because he happened to make jokes about Jews and, well, just edgy humour in general because he's changed his style. And he's being a little bit more politically incorrect than he used to be. And what has happened is that this has resulted in not only his network and Disney, which owns his network, cutting him off completely, but he's also having to deal with a lot of backlash. However, this has only proven to be an even bigger backlash for the mainstream media, who have been writing these articles, funnily enough, in a way in which they did it to Gamergate, where they basically had one article that kicked everything off, and then a whole host of articles came out, and then next thing we know, they're all parroting the same things, and PewDiePie has received backing from fellow YouTubers such as H3H3, Chris Raygun, Amazing Atheist. Loads of other people have joined in to help and show support. And essentially, this whole thing has now been called PewDiePie Gate. Yeah, maybe not quite on level of Gamergate, but I think it definitely shares some similarities. Now, like everybody else, you know that I know that PewDiePie is not a white supremacist, he's not a fascist, he's not a Nazi. He told a joke. He got some people to make a Jew joke. That itself does not make you a Nazi, that does not make you a fascist whatsoever. It doesn't even make you racist. It was just a joke. It was quite clearly a joke. And what we all know that the Wall Street Journal did was essentially, along with the article, right, create a 1-minute video where they show evidence of PewDiePie being a Nazi. All it was, as we all know, was a bunch of clips that they picked out of his videos in the recent weeks, because remember, he uploads daily, and they put these jokes in there out of context because, you know, they're writing a hit piece, and not only are they writing a hit piece, but this is the mainstream media. They need to smear him, they need to somehow prove that he's a Nazi, even though these jokes don't actually prove that he is one. So they put them in there out of context for the people who don't really know who he is, because remember, their audience aren't going to be people like us who watch YouTube, who are familiar with PewDiePie anyway, and they're banking on people basically falling for it. However, what they weren't banking on was that we were there to debunk everything, and PewDiePie basically probably didn't even need to make the recent video that he did, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, what's interesting about the smear piece and the other articles that have come out is it's a kind of a retaliation. It's sort of a thing that's been building up over the years, as PewDiePie said in his video. Over the years, he's become progressively more and more pissed off and more apathetic to the media, and, well, you can say the same for everybody here. They look down on YouTubers, they look down on people who use the web as a means to not only make a living, but also to disseminate news, to hell even be news readers, newscasters, journalists. They look down on those particular people, the new media. They don't like it because they see us as usurpers. They see the internet as a threat to their established order. The fact that they were the people who we all used to turn to for the facts, for the news, but now we're turning to people like PewDiePie, of all people, and likes of Amazing Atheist, loads of others, Philip DeFranco, for our news, because we don't trust them, especially in America. Like, the whole trust of the media is at an all-time low, and they don't know why. Well, I wonder why. It's a retaliation. This is what it is. They see the biggest YouTuber the world has ever seen so far making a load of edgy jokes as he changed his content to get with the times, as his competitors have gotten more edgy and a little bit more politically incorrect, and he can see that that's where YouTube's heading, and they see this as a chance to smear him, to destroy him. Now, they've already got rid of his network, they've already got rid of that. That's a blow, let's make no mistake about that. However, it's not a massive blow, it's not something that he can't recover from. They thought if they took Disney away from him, they took the network away from him, that'll end him. Well, no, he's still got his subscribers, he's still got his money, and he's still going to continue to make videos. He doesn't even need a network. Most YouTubers don't need networks. Networks are overrated, and they thought they could harm him. They thought they could crush him by going after them, but turns out that they can't. PewDiePie's going to be fine, people. We know this. So there's no need to worry. There's no need to defend him all the time. He can defend himself. He's doing pretty well on his own. He's pretty much destroyed their narrative over and over again. Now, about the video that he did that addressed the whole controversy. As everybody knows, The only major thing about it, the only thing that you could possibly criticise from our point of view, I'm talking about people who are anti-SJW or just pro-free speech, that kind of ilk. We don't like apologising to these people unless we've actually done something wrong, because if you apologise to these people, they've basically won, or they are given some kind of power over you. We know this because, remember, no apology is ever accepted properly. They don't like it because nothing is good enough. I think that's the one issue. But he only apologised for one thing, which is the Fiverr video, so I guess in the end you can kind of let it slide, because the rest of the video he was basically upfront about how he's going to continue and how everything is basically going to continue as is. And I'm for one, I'm glad that we actually have him on our side, and I honestly need to talk about that. 2017 is shaped up to be a very interesting year already. Not only has JonTron come out against these authoritarian douchebags, but Pewdiepie. The fact that we've had JonTron, the fact that we have Pewdiepie, and God knows who else who might come out in support of this pro-free speech, pro-free expression, anti-authoritarian ideals that we've been trying to fight for the past 2 years, maybe longer, depending on how long you've been doing it. That's a major victory for us. That's a major victory for anti-SJWs and anti-authoritarians in general, because these are some of the biggest names, and even they are being open and critical about this. And the mainstream media and the social justice warriors are finding themselves now to be practically outgunned. In many ways, I think we're beginning to get the numbers game. We started off as a tiny people with hardly any voice, and now we've got Pewdiepie and JonTron. They've really kicked the bucket this time. They've really messed up, because those articles are not only going to anger Pewdiepie and his fans, but other people as well, because now JonTron's fans are probably going to stick by him, and I'm sure as other bigger YouTubers come out and attack this, as you can see in the commentary genre as well, No Fuckers and Colossal is Crazy is talking about these people. The tide is turning, but it's still going to be a long fight. Milo reckons we can beat them in 2017 now. It's not going to happen. But this is definitely a paradigm shift. Something is going to happen now that Pewdiepie is basically coming out against them, and long may it continue. But the question is, can they continue it? Can they continue what we've had to do for the past couple of years? Do they have the fortitude to do it? And most of all, do they have the understanding to do it? Because Pewdiepie, he's still not quite there. I don't think he really quite understands the brevity of the situation. I don't think he really knows what he's dipped his toes into, but I think eventually he'll learn. I think he's definitely got what it takes to really sock it to him. So anyway, people, let's hope that this outpouring of support continues and more people come out and talk about this, because the more the better, really. That's what we need. So until next time, this has been Charming Man 93. Like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, please donate to my Patreon. Until next time, I'll see you all later.